Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Reata Horsemanship. I'm Luke Brown. I'm very excited to be with you here today on Winning Wednesday. What a beautiful day. What a beautiful month we've had here in August so far. You know, just a couple weeks ago, this field right out here to my left was brown. And as you can see, it's very, very green, lush green. And there's a lot of grass and a lot of green coming out around this area. We're in this desert, and what a beautiful time. Most of the days, sorry, there are mosquitoes too. Most of the days have been under 100 degrees, which is very, very rare here in August. I think July and August potentially have been some of the coolest months on record here in Arizona, at least this area in Arizona. So I'm very excited about all the rain. I'm thankful for the rain. And today for Winning Wednesday, the horse that I'm riding is Raleigh. Raleigh is a 3-year-old mare. She's a half Friesian, half fjord horse that came to me for training, just her first steps in training. She's had some groundwork, and she was saddled and even sat on before, but she didn't have anything other than that. And so she's coming along really well. This is just the middle of her 3rd week in her training, and she's very, very smart and coming along actually a little bit faster than the majority of horses. And she's just super intelligent and was real well humanized, so she didn't have any fear of humans, and that really helps. Now, when she got, I had to actually take her outside the arena a lot quicker. I only rode her once in the arena, and then I've been out on the urban and rural trails for the last 4 or 5 days, and that's because of all the rain, and it's just rained me out in my arena. So I did advance her quicker than normal, but she is coming along very, very well, and we've been safe enough and getting better all the time. And today for Winning Wednesday, I wanted to talk a little bit more on what I talked about on, let's see if I can get her with one hand. This can be challenging sometimes with these newer horses. I want to talk about stress. And on Monday, I talked about stress and how important it was that we go through stress, that our muscles feel stress so that they grow. They either maintain their strength or they grow in strength. And in order for us to grow in any way, whether it be emotionally, physically, psychologically, spiritually, any of those different avenues of growth that we have potential to grow or decline, if we don't have stress, we cannot grow. And so I talked about how important that was. Now, the one thing that I left out on Monday was the fact that there has to be a recovery period. If there is not a recovery period from the stress, if the stress is constant and it doesn't go away and there's no recovery, then there will actually be a breakdown in whatever it is, a breakdown physically. I mean, think about if you're working out and you don't have any rest periods, or if you worked out really, really hard on the same muscles every single day, most likely those muscles are going to actually break down instead of build up. And so there has to be a recovery period. You have to have food, you have to have rest, and you have to be able to recover in order for that stress to positively influence you. And so when you're looking at your life and what I was trying to encourage people to do on Monday is to acknowledge that stress is a good thing. But at the same time, you have to also recognize that it's important to find rest and relaxation from that stress. So if you're in a stressful situation or you're in a stressful job, you need to be able to come home and deflate and rest up from that stress and be able to do something else that allows your mind, your spirit, your energy, your body, whatever it is, allows it to rest so that you can recover and then build up. And I've been reading this book, If I Know What to Do, Then Why Don't I Do It, by Nick Hall, Dr. Nick Hall. And he was talking about exercise and how you can train your body to have a relaxation response off of stress. And what you do is you find out what your max heart rate is. And I'm not going to go through all the details on this, but if you want to train how to get into stress mode and then de-stress, come out of that and get into relaxation, what you want to do is do some exercise. You want to do some aerobic exercise. So you get into an aerobic activity, which is basically if you're running, if you're jogging, or if you're walking or whatever, and you can still carry on a conversation, but it's kind of challenging, you're probably in the aerobic activity where you're burning oxygen and you're utilizing that activity to promote fat burning, And then so that would be a non-stress response or a non-stress situation that you put yourself in. That's aerobic activity. And then what you do is you go into anaerobic activity. So you push yourself a little bit harder so that you get to 70 to 80% of your max heart rate. Push yourself a little bit harder. And basically, if you go a little bit faster, if you run a little bit faster and you can barely say a word, but you really can't get enough breaths, enough air to speak to somebody, to carry on a conversation, then you're in the anaerobic phase of exercise, and that's a stressful phase. So you do that for a minute or so, and then you come back down and you go below your aerobic activity, the same amount that you went above it. And I know that it might sound a little bit complicated, but basically you push yourself a little bit harder so that you create that stress response in your heart, in your brain, in your body, and then you come down below where you started exercising, so you start to relax and rest, and then you can go back up to your aerobic exercise. And that's just one way that he talks about how to train yourself to get into a stress response and then get into relaxation mode as well. And so for Winning Wednesday, make sure that you find time to relax, that you find ways that you can relax so that you can utilize stress as a positive in your life instead of a negative. And Raleigh's kind of getting nervous about a guy bringing a trash can out up there. So I'll finish my video. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Until next time, be thankful, live with purpose, live with passion, and as always, stay safe in the saddle.